Hello, investors. Welcome to Chart Shastra. Today is day 49 of our 100-day price action challenge, and looks like the market has just started recovery. Today it was a very strong day. In fact, even I has finally started little bit testing positions in the market. Well, let's hope that the finally the market is ready to trade again. Let's start with Nifty. Nifty is strongly up, almost 400 points. It's up 1.62%. That's a very good sign. And it has successfully closed above its 50-day moving average, 21-day moving average. And in fact, this was the level we were struggling, right? Let it break above 23,500. Looks like there was a broader, the entire market across all. You can see here, right? Nifty Junior is up 1.5%, but again, I think on the chart, Nifty Junior still needs to close above this level. That would even confirm more. And coming to Nifty 100, it's just looking better, right? It is coming out of this little mini zone of consolidation, which is around this level, right? 24,000. Even looking at mid caps too, they have started to recover. But again, let's just not get our hopes high as of now. Even the small cap is also at least settling in as of now. That's a healthy sign because I've seen few breakouts happening in the market, and also they are sustaining. They are follow the price is also following through the breakouts. That's a healthy sign. Even the mid cap is micro cap is also settling at these levels. So as of now, I feel that I'm getting from the feel of charts, especially after scanning 700,000 names across the market. I'm sensing some kind of reversing up, but let's just not get our hopes high. I just want to put that disclaimer. As of now, I've just started to test with my little positions in the market. If these work out, we can, I think, market after a very long time taking some time. But again, you know that this would be the crucial level which we need to take out, then we can confidently say that, because as of now the market is in a mode of making lower lows and lower highs. But if the first time, if the market settles or closes above these levels, especially if it's Nifty, it needs to close above this 24,200, or for the better case, if it closes about 24,800, that would be very great. But again, it would be a bit hard in such market condition. Let's wait and see how it turns out. Coming to the bank Nifty, I guess you can see here, right? It has clearly closed above its long-term resistance, which is again a long-term support, now became a resistance. And look at the closing, the strong. It's a very strong candle. That's what I daily highlight, right? I need the closing to be strong. See, the closing is almost near to the high of the day. That's a very good sign because the private banks are acting well. Even the PSU banks. They are little bit behind the private banks, but let's wait and see. Let them take some time. Even the IT is also picking up. Yesterday we thought this was a little bit concern, but again today seeing IT stocks, I guess nothing to worry in IT. Again, auto is looking to come back. That's a healthy sign. Let's see how the auto has done well in our 100 stocks too. Realty is also still holding these levels. That's a very healthy sign as of. Even the pharma has closed above this support zone, and I have seen across small cap names, like many small cap pharma names and chemical names, they are holding their levels and they are breaking out and sustaining those. That is a healthy sign. Even the infra is up strong today. I am a little bit disappointed with FMCG, but again, not a major selling, right? It's just almost a flat today. Even telecom is also doing great. Even healthcare is also going up. So let's quickly go into our 100 stocks and see how it's doing. You see, the major boost came from the Reliance. So it was up almost 3%, and the volumes were also very high. If the Reliance closes above this 1330 level, that would be wonderful for markets because Reliance is one of the heavyweights in Nifty. And if the sentiment of Reliance changes, the entire market sentiment turns to. Let's just hope for that. Even the TCS is also still hanging at these levels. Let's wait and see. I know I'm sounding bit optimistic. Look at here. HDFC Bank has finally closed very strongly above its 15-day moving average, and let's wait and see. As of now, if it sustains the 1660 levels, that's a healthy sign. Bharti Airtel still, I guess the results would be out in 2 to 3 days. I think if the results are out and if they're doing very well, it would break this 1680 level. That would be very interesting to watch on Bharti Airtel. ICICI Bank tried to move up, but again, not a great closing. See, that's the difference I was talking about. The entire Bank Nifty has closed very strong despite ICICI had a little bit weak closing. Even Infosys also is. has again tried to close the gap today. That's a healthy sign. If it successfully closes this gap and went above this level, that would be very interesting to watch for Infosys. State Bank of India still a little bit behind some private banks, but again, probably it is waiting for its result. As of now, it is forming little tight consolidation here, right? Let it close above this 785. That would be interesting. ITC still needs some time because there was a demerger happened in the stock, and Hindustan Unilever to the entire FMCG is a little bit digesting the budget as of now. LIC is still much weaker. It is not even attempting. I'm little bit disappointed with LIC. Again, HCL Tech too. It looked very weak yesterday, but see, it was a very strong day for HCL Tech today. That's a good thing. It needs to close above this 1840. Then I would change my stance on HCL Tech. As of now, I am looking it weaker. L&T had a great day, but again, there is a lot of overhead supply here. Let's wait for few days. Let it close above this 3800 level. Till then, we need to put infrastructure stocks a little bit aside here. Sun Pharma still getting it's tightening up. Bajaj Finance is acting perfectly. This is one of the strongest names we have seen in the Nifty lately. It had a very successful. This is the weekly time frame. It had a very strong chart on the weekly too. Even on the daily, it looks wonderful, right? NTPC is again trying to close up, but again, I need this to close above this 340, 350 levels. Then we can think of something else. Even Axis Bank too, after a very long time, it is trying to fill this gap. So finally, the banks, maybe some money is moving into the banks. I can sense that through the charts. Even Maruti is also acting very well. I think it's acting very strong. It's holding these levels. Exactly, we have talked about yesterday, right? It needs to hold this 1305, 13,500 levels. Need some consolidation here and then a breakout. That would be perfect for Maruti. Even Kotak too, it's getting better. Finally, it has closed above its little consolidation. But again, this 1950 is the level I would be crucially talking because it is one of the slant lines. I can know we can a little bit adjust here and say this 1950. But again, let's be very sure. I want to be very sure. I just don't want to jump in. We have waited enough for Bajaj Finance and it has proved right worth waiting. Even M&M, in fact, it had tried to made a new all-time high today, but the closing was a little bit weak. So it has its results in coming days. Let's wait and see. As of now, I'm not a big fan of this V-shaped recovery. That's a very strong action usually, but it doesn't sustain. Let it consolidate here. That would be very interesting to watch. So now let's go to ONGC. It is also up 2%, but again, lot of overhead supplies there here. Tata Motors up 3.3%, but again, you know that Tata Motors is still becoming, it's very weak on the chart. It needs to close above this 820 level, then I would be seeing because look at M&M, it is almost making all-time high today. Ultratech Cement up 3%, acting well. As of now, it's sideways. It needs to close above this 12,000. Then we can think of something. Adani Enterprises still very weak. Power Grid also not looking good. Right? Titan, I guess it's holding up well, but again, it's in the choppy, almost sideways trend for the last 1 year. Bajaj Auto, let it hold here. It needs to close above this 9300 level. That would be interesting to watch. Adani Ports trying to reverse, but again, lot of overhead supply, not so great. Coal India too, not so great. Asian Paints again, another update. I think today it was the results day. Finally, looks like it is forming a bottom here. As long as it doesn't break this 28 and 2200 level, that's very perfect. Let's wait and see. It needs to close. Ideally, for a very, very strong case, it needs to close above this 2500 level. But for the starters, let it close above this 2400 and slowly inch up. We don't want it to move up very high in 1 day and come down, right? Wipro has finally came out of this base. That's interesting. But again, not a perfect action today. I thought it would have a very strong follow through action, but it isn't. But still, it has came out of this mini consolidation. That's a very healthy sign. HAL again trying to. It's a very volatile name. It was down almost 13% in last two sessions. So now trying to cover the losses. But again, right now I would change my levels. For it to be very strong, it needs to close over this 42.60. Bajaj Finserv slowly inching up to this level, just like Bajaj Finance acting so perfect. DMart needs to close. This was the day on the results, or at least the business update day, I guess, which the stock was up 12% almost. It needs to close above this level. So let it take some time here. Trent was down 6%. That's again a very disappointment. It got rejected exactly right here. Looks like I think the journey of the trend has completed, at least from the feel of the chart. Trent was never this choppy in the past. Lately, it has become very choppier. Maybe I think we had seen a very huge rally in the trend almost from here, right? So this was the time where Trent was struggling here, but again a breakout happened, and it was very smooth. So we are seeing some form of similar action which repeated in this October and April 2023, right? We are seeing some form of action. So Trent might, at least from the chart, it feels that Trent might need some more little bit of time. Adani Green, not great. Simons again, very weak name. It tried to close up, but again, lot of overhead supply. JSW still nothing interesting as of now, still hanging at this lower channel range. Adani Power, although it is getting tighter, but again, lot of overhead supply. If you see, this was the high it made and almost on the June 24, and from then it is down almost 45%. Not good. Tomato again still struggling at this 240 levels. It is very crucial support level for the Zomato, and when it has broken down now, it is facing a lot of resistance. Let it come out of this zone, then we can talk about it. Nestle is still holding up these levels. That's a healthy sign as of now, at least as per Nestle. So FMCG is trying to get better. Maybe they need some more time here. IOC not looking good even today. Also, it needs to close above this 130. Bharat Electronics again a little bit volatile. It is going up one day, going down one day. Not a great sign. So let's wait. Again, I know I'm very making it very tough for Bharat Electronics. Let it close above this 300 level. Then we can think of something. Varun Beverage is trying to go for a reversal, but again, very choppy name. So if you're trying to for a reversal, this was the perfect, and you could have targeted these, but again, you never know reversals, or at least trading within the ranges or very choppy. Geo Finance, after a very long time, it's up 4.7%. Let it wait. It needs to close above this at least 280 level. Then we can think of something. But again, almost all the major smart money has exited from the Geo Finance. ELF still struggling at its supports. Let it come out of this support. Tata still trying to reach this support or the resistance as of now. So let's wait and see. Even Vedanta too, it needs to take about this 460 level. Grasim still struggling here while Ultratech is somewhere around this zone. So Grasim is still in this zone. So comparative, relatively, it's very weak to Ultratech. IRFC, I don't think railways are getting enough buying force. There is no demand. I can't see any demand on the chart. There is a very strong buying force. You would see that the stock should ideally try to push upwards, but there isn't. So maybe they need some more time. LTIM, I like this mini base forming, but overall the entire structure is not good. So for a very quick profitable trade, if it breaks out of this range, a stop loss of 3.5% looks good for LTIM, but again, the entire structure is not. Wipro looks much better. A lot of IT names looks much better than LTIM. Indigo still needs to come out of this sloping line or this trend line. Then it would be very interesting to watch. Tech Mahindra looks a little bit better, but again, it needs to close above this trend line. Then we can comment something. SBI Life again going sideways as of now, nothing interesting. PDLite 2 still struggling at its support. It's also very one of the very dull name. It always moves very slow. It is very choppy. ABB up 8.5%. I don't know what's happening in this space. This is very volatile stock. I mean, it is down almost 42%. Now it has recovered 8%. But again, looks like some kind of short covering is happening, or maybe the honest, because the market is also trying to recover, right? Divi's Lab finally there was a sharp bounce here. Divi's Lab is now moving up and testing this 6300 level. If it breaks above the 6280 level, then that would be interesting to watch. But again, one, two, three, and this is the fourth time Divis has reached this level. Let's see whether this time it would work or not. HDFC Life needs to close above this level, then we can talk. It. Hindalco again, very sharp reversal happened from this level, right? It was up almost 6-7% from here, but again needs to close above this 610. PFC is also again trying to move up above this 430. That would be interesting to watch. Then nothing. Britannia is getting weaker. Probably the results are nearby, I guess. So there is some volatility happening here. Let's wait for the results and see how this is going to turn out. Ambuja Cement, not great. Even Gale also doesn't look much great here, right? Tata Power too. Still, these are low hanging fruits. They are hanging I mean, not low hanging fruits. These are very high hanging fruits. I mean, catching them is not a great thing. REC is also trying to recover, but again, lot of selling happened here. Motherson, exactly yesterday, there was a big, huge breakdown, right? Again, it tried to move up, recover. It even little bit surprised here. It tried to close above here, but again, the closing was a little bit weaker. BPCL trying to move up, but again, that's this 80 level. Godrej consumer property, consumer products. It needs to close above it needs to fill this gap at least to become. HR Motors still behaving very strong. See, this is what I expected in the Wipro chart today, but it did not happen as I expected. And it usually never happens in the market. Whatever we expect, it doesn't never happen. So that's why it's always better to just follow the price. So HR Motors is looking very strong as of now. Bank of Baroda trying to recover, but again, lot of weakness still on the chart. Pipla, same, it's very weak, hanging at lows. JSW Energy too. It might need a lot of time. It needs to move up 35% at least to reach its long-term support or resistance in it. TVS Motors also acting very well. Probably it might face a little bit volatility here because it is trying to move up. So that's the classic overhead supply. People who have bought somewhere here, right? They are just waiting for their price, for the stock to come to their price so that they can exit out of it without losses. So that's what we call overhead supply or resistance technical terms. Foreign pharma, I'm a little bit surprised here. We used to remember that it was acting very strong, but last 3 days looks like the results were a little bit disappointed, I guess. Maybe this 3000 level, it needs to respect this 3000 level. If it breaks down, that's a bit warning sign for Torrent Pharma. Viram Finance finally came above this mini base and above this long-term moving average. But again, if you want me to draw a trend line, is what Sriram Finance trend line looks like. It needs to come out of this range. Chola, it's another back-to-back very strong day. I think after Bajaj Finance, now Chola is trying to move up after a long time. But again, lot of overhead supply. I won't call this a breakout. We can't call it technically a breakout because although it's in a mini consolidation and it has successfully came out of this zone, but again, lot of overhead supply. It needs to reach somewhere around this level. But as of now, even Chola is also looking strong on the chart. Bajaj holding down 4%. See, the last time it made a fool, that's why I've told you. That's why I don't trust. Once it made a fool out of us, I don't want to take a call on this stock usually because I don't trust this name somehow. It's very good, but again, as of now, it's still holding well, holding this level. If it closes below this level, that's where you can say it has made us a fool again. Adani Energy, nothing. Punjab not even trying to move up already. Trend line. Probably it might get. So as of now, we are seeing a little bit weakness on the pharma names. I'm a bit surprised because small cap, micro cap pharma names are acting well, but the major large cap pharma, United Spirits, nothing great here. Loda finally came out of this trend line, but again, it is also very choppy name. I don't know what's happening in the real estate. One moment they were down very almost 50%. Now they are recovering very fast without even taking a rest. That's very. iPro needs to close this gap. Havels again down 2%. It might take some time. It needs to close about. Bosch still very weak, but getting tighter. I don't know. Trying to move up or trying to do Apollo going sideways as of now. Zaido is also not. Needs to close above this level. Again, it is back to its old trading zone. Almost for the last 5 6 months. Yes, 120 days. That's almost 4 months almost. Hero Cup again, not great. It was just 1 or 2 days of recovery, but again now it is going down. So clearly, Hero Cup is looking very weak in the now. Curry, now it's important for it if it closes above this zone. That would be interesting. But if it gets rejected and goes down again, then that's a bit warning sign for Tata Consumer Products. Let's wait and see. Still needs to close above this gap. Dabur is looking good. Britannia disappointed, but at least Dabur is holding up since the results are out. Maybe it tries to move up slow. Let's see. Lombard still in the sideways. Zindal still not looking great here. P cement still very choppy. Let it close above this this time. Last time we were little bit expecting that it might break this. So let's wait and see. So even let's wait for this 29,000 level because it's a very volatile. Canara again hanging at this support zone. Union also, it's up one day, going down one day. The trend is not clear. Looks like IndusInd is looking decent. If you want to draw a line, see, it is trying to close up. But again, this would be the another major. This would be another major. This would be another lot of resistance because uh, almost it has corrected 41%, right? So whenever it tries to come here, it would face resistance who has bought here, then some here. That's why it's usually a bit difficult journey when the stock has corrected this. Dani total gas not looking. NHPC still all the trend. BHL again down one day, up going one day. I don't. IRCTC too, nothing interesting. So the bottom, at least the first 10 15 stocks were very positive. They are acting very well. Whereas coming to the bottom names, as we are reaching to the down segment, they are not acting very well, right? So looks like it is going to be a bit selective market where few names would perform and few names wouldn't. So it's always best that we pick out the strong names and we separate them from the weaker names. That's how professional traders and fund managers do. So I hope that you are liking this series. So see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot for watching.